Hello, everybody. I'm actually doing a live stream here on the YouTube. I just posted a video of a friend that I follow here on YouTube about him leaving and returning back to Russia. So I'm not going to get into that really here. This live stream is sort of just to test my equipment, see how it sounds. I don't know if anybody's going to come in here or anything here in the next few minutes, but yeah, that's who I was talking about. Sanctioned Ivan went back to Russia, so more power to him. So, yep. So yeah, I'm back on. Again, part of the reason I'm doing this is to test the equipment. I'm back on my Roadcaster. I just want to sort of get a feel for it again. I'm on my laptop. That's a laptop camera. There's my Roadcaster Pro board. It's not the second generation. It's still the first generation, but it's still a really good board. So that's that. Then I got my microphone, and you know, if I turn all the way around, I have like another computer here behind me running Linux. I have an iPad over here on the other side. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess out here in my garage, but this is my place. This is where I am. So yeah, I enjoy my setting here. So hi. Lives are a lot different from doing just a normal video where you can edit, cut, stop, you know, clip and pop in other stuff. Well, let me see if it's even coming up as a live video on my YouTube. Because I think the last time I tried to do a live, it delayed it. It delayed the live video by quite a substantial amount of time, and I don't see it here in my live videos on my phone. So I'm not sure if they're delaying me, if I'm on some kind of YouTube watch list because of my past content on different things, you know, like I'm just looking at my live videos. I have like a random Friday that was back like in 11/25 right before Thanksgiving this past year. I got a copyright claim on that one. I think it might still be live. And then the one right before that was back in May or June, talking about nuclear stuff. Let's talk about it. That's back right after the Ukraine stuff started. It one from 7 months ago. Actually talking about same thing, Ivan. Actually, I privated that one because yeah. So random thoughts. 7 months ago. I've done a number of live ones, but I don't see this one live. That's odd, you know. Let me switch over to YouTube Studio and see if it shows my live stream. You know, I would assume that I would be able to watch my own live stream because it's live as it's going on, but I don't see it. So that's odd to me. I just clicked on the live button and it still has my one from 5 months ago. So maybe after I hit stop and excuse me, after I hit stop on this video and everything, it'll just process it like it was a normal YouTube video upload, perhaps. But, you know, that again, that defeats the whole point and purpose of going live, because the whole point of going live is to get people in here, you know, and talking. I'm watching my live chat here in my software OBS, there's like a live chat channel, and there's nobody in here. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I'm up to 325 now. I've probably been a little bit over 300 now for the last, 6 or 8 months. I broke over the 300 level, and ran into some other YouTubers on another channel. They tossed me out a few subscribes, and then I've just picked up random ones here and there over the past, again, 6 to 8 months. So, it's a challenge, like getting above that 1,000 level. I mean, I've posted a lot of videos and stuff, but I guess, maybe they're too long. Maybe the topic is just sort of, not algorithmically, that's a tongue twister, algorithmically friendly videos. Sorry, that took a few times. I'm tired. It's just after midnight, I guess, so it's not unusual for me to be up at this time, but I've been cutting back on drinking so much like I used to. As many of you know, you could see me sitting here like chugging a drink, or whatever. I just have like some malt beverage, a Smirnoff. I have a Smirnoff now, so I've just been sipping on that. But for anybody who drinks or knows somebody that does, I've actually been off liquor. I quit liquor about 2.5 months ago now. So I have not had any liquor whatsoever, vodka, whiskey, bourbon, since the end of February. Now, if I drink anything, it's just like a beer or a Smirnoff, one of these sweet drinks or whatever, every now and then. So, but I find myself being so much more productive in my day job. I'm sort of a freelancer, so I sort of do what I want to do when I want to do it for whoever I want to do it for. So I'm a sort of a freelance technology guy, and a lot of my clients are just local businesses where I live. I still have a number of larger clients in other places, so that I've had for many, many, many years. And, I do a lot of web hosting and stuff like that. So, yeah. Not to get too much into the personal side of things, but that's what I do. I do a lot of IT work, telecommunications, phone systems, networking, Wi-Fi, web design, security stuff like cybersecurity type work. I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst. And I always sort of joke around with friends, they're like, ask, what did you do today? And I'm like, well, yeah, I just fought off some North Korean hackers, or sometimes it's like Russian hackers or whatever, because stereotypically, the standard hackers are like Russians and North Koreans and Chinese, but there's hackers everywhere. I mean, so I sort of joke around that I'm fighting them off and trying to keep them from getting into my web servers and so on. But it's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing challenge, trying to keep websites secure and stuff. And I use a lot of WordPress, and WordPress isn't always the best platform. There were a number of my WordPress sites that my client never updated them. They didn't update them for sometimes years. It was just like a static WordPress site. So what I did is I found a plugin for WordPress called Simply Static. So I install that plugin, and I click a button, and the plugin creates a static HTML version of their WordPress website. And then, so what I would do is I would go into my web server configuration. I would take the zip file that the plugin created for me, and then I would just unzip that into a folder under the web root called static or whatever. and then change the web server configuration. So when somebody hits the website, instead of hitting the WordPress, which is vulnerable and has plugins and needs updates and all this stuff, it would just hit the static HTML version that was created by that plugin. So I thought that plugin was pretty great. Now, I did have one of the clients come back to me recently and say, hey, I need to make a change to my website. When I tried to log into it, it just gave me a 404 page not found when they tried to log into the back end of their WordPress. And I'm like, oh, sorry about that. But then come to realize that I didn't save the WordPress files for their website. I just converted it to static, thinking that they would never update it again. So what I had to do is basically unzip a fresh WordPress, connect it to their database, and put the same theme that was on there before. I converted it to static, the same theme. And pretty much the theme was the only thing I had to do. You know, different plugins that they had weren't as important, but so, excuse me, that was sort of an uncontrollable, not quite a burp, but sort of a guttural release. But so, like I said, I untarred or unzipped a WordPress back into their web root, connected it to the database. I never deleted the database from my MySQL server, so whatever was on their website when I converted it to static was still there. So, and then as long as I put the right theme back in before I reconnected it to the database, and the website, basically, long story short, the website for that particular client came back up perfectly, as if nothing ever happened. And then the beauty of it is all those other silly plugins that they didn't need or never really needed were gone. The site was clean. I went ahead and put it back in some of my security plugins like WordFence and, you know, the different scanners and security plugins just to keep the site safe or whatever. And then I reactivated it. And since I connected to their existing database, they were able to log in with the same username and password that they had before. So I guess that's one good thing that I did, is I didn't delete their database, and everything was still there. So there were probably 6 or 7 or 8 other websites on that same server that I did the same thing to, but none of those clients have requested access back to their websites. They were always sort of like what I call like turnkey solutions, turnkey clients, where if they needed an update, they would email me, and if the update wasn't a major one, like a whole site redesign or whatever, then I can just get into the static HTML, do the update for them or whatever. Now, if they need like a major change, I might reactivate their WordPress, just like I talked about with the other client. So, rambling on a little bit. Let me see if my live video ever came up on my YouTube here. No? Bit disappointed, YouTube. Maybe they block it for me, so I can't. Okay, no, I see it now. Okay. I see me live. It finally kicked in. I don't know what the delay is on it. Let's see here. Moderation helps everyone feel safe. To build a positive live chat experience for you and your viewers, you can, number 1, choose who can participate. B, set a delay between messages. Okay, look, I just saw on my phone where I held it up. It's probably about a 20, 30-second delay. I can hide or put people in a timeout. I can manage my messages held for review or add moderators to my channel. It asked me to learn more. I'm just going to close that. But then it says there's like one person watching, and that's me. I guess I'm broadcasting and then I'm watching here on my phone. So it looks like it went live. Finally. It's pretty cool. It's late. I know, not many people were up, but if you happen to, I'm just going to keep going here, even if I don't say anything for like a few minutes. Again, just to test the equipment and see if I get any subscriber response. Like I said, I only have about 325 people, but it would be nice if a few people popped in here and asked a question or... I smoke too much. Okay, I'm trying to breathe clearly here, so I probably should quit smoking. Like I said earlier, I quit the liquor. I need to quit the smoking. Start exercising. Start walking more. But cigarettes, I don't know. I don't smoke like Marlboro or Winston or any of the other cheap, crappy cigarettes and stuff. And I know FDA or whatever, Surgeon General warning, there's no such thing as a safe cigarette, but I smoke the American Spirit brand. I smoke the American Spirit brand. And even though they're not safe, nothing you breathe into your lungs safe except maybe pure marijuana with THC and CBD. Actually, I heard even smoking weed, smoking pot can actually help people who have lung problems or breathing problems like COPD or things like that. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time. But I used to smoke Marlboro and Winston's and different brands and everything, and they always made me cough, and they were always just like Camels. I used to smoke Camels a lot back in my early tech days when I was working for like tech companies. And I would wake up like in the morning, get in the shower, and I'd be like coughing up like mucus and stuff, and it was just terrible. Same with Marlboro. And right around the time my ex-wife and I divorced or whatever, I had quit smoking for a while around the time my oldest daughter was young and my second daughter, my youngest, was born. But I started smoking again when the whole divorce thing was happening. And I went back to American Spirits. I had them a few times before when I smoked previously, back in the early or mid 2000s. But I went to those, and I noticed that even though they're like, they're more organic, I guess. They don't have all the chemicals and filler in like the stems of the tobacco and stuff. They're more just pure tobacco with none of the you've always heard like hundreds of different chemicals and carcinogens and nasty things in them and stuff. So that's why I went to the American Spirits. And I actually noticed that my lung capacity after I started smoking again actually sort of like stayed the same, or it actually increased a little bit. It was odd. I did not expect that. And then, I've been smoking the American Spirits again for probably around, 10 or 11 years. I don't know if this is going to get me banned, like talking about like tobacco products, but when I started smoking those again or whatever, it didn't affect me nearly as much as like what I remember, and with Marlboro and the cheaper, more commercial brands. So yeah, enough on that. It sounds terrible, doesn't it? I have natural allergies and congestion, so that's really not due to my smoking. That's more due to the pollen and the allergies here in the spring here in Kentucky. We actually get quite notable allergen periods. And all the trees are starting to come out in full force and are blooming and everything. So I went into a sneezing fit here in the garage the other night where I probably sneezed like 12 times. I mean, it felt good. It feels good to sneeze, because you're sort of getting everything out. It's blowing everything out of your head, and it's nice. But that surprised me a little, because in the past I never really had allergies. Now I have like a Claritin type pills and stuff in the house. Like if I do start sneezing a lot or start being affected a lot by it, then I'll take 1 or 2 Claritins and that'll hold me over for a day or so. So, but yeah. So I've been going here. It's only been 20 minutes. You know, I used to do these for like 20, 25. I mean, the live ones I used to do for like an hour, hour and a half. But I think I've sort of worn out, I guess, what I want to talk about. So talked about sanction Ivan sanction here a little bit in this video, and then in the previous one in my main section. This is probably going to go under the live section. But so yeah. Yeah, I got the little sound effects. Wah, wah, wah. And my favorite. I may turn it up. So yeah.
How dare you?
How dare you?
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Quote Mr. Biden, President Biden. You need to resign. You can't run again, Mr. Biden. So, but I'm getting into politics, so I'm going to cut it off short here. I'm going to go back into my main little intro, outro theme. I like this one. I just found it. I think I found it on YouTube years ago when I first started podcasting with another friend of mine on another website or channel. But I like it. It's sort of mysterious. So, everybody have a good night and everything, and peace out.